Libra, welcome to your astrology reading for the month of September. So before I jump into the energy, and let me tell you, September, get ready. If I had one word to describe September, it would be transformation. But again, before I get into all of that, this is going to be most applicable for your rising sign, which is the zodiac sign that rules your first house or your ascendant. It's all the same. And that's how other people perceive you, especially when they first meet you. It's still applicable for your sun sign, that's how you express yourself, as well as your moon sign, which is how you process everything internally through that emotional lens. And so when you understand all three, it kind of gives you that better picture on how the month is going to play out for you. I'm just going to jump right in because we start with the transformation right away. Day one, we have Uranus station retrograde in the sign of Taurus. That's going to happen on September 1st at 11:18 in the morning Eastern time. And so Uranus is one of two planets of transformation. So think of the Tower card in tarot. This is that sudden transformation that's taking place. For you, this is sitting in your 8th house, which is a house of transformation, but it's Taurus. So this is all very practical, very grounded. So think of all those things that might be holding you back from feeling very balanced. Libra, the reason that you are Libra is because balance is the name of the game for you in this lifetime. You're always trying to achieve that balance, that equilibrium. And so Uranus retrograde in Taurus would be some sort of sudden internal transformation, some sort of internal change here, because that's what retrogrades do. It has that energy directed inward. This Uranus retrograde in Taurus will trine Venus in Libra, which means that these sudden internal changes that are taking place within you, think about removing barriers, things like that, easily blends with you feeling balanced about yourself. That's where Venus in Libra is sitting for you. Venus rules your sign. So this one I actually really like for you because that's really positive. All the changes that are taking place are clearly in your best interest. We have Uranus retrograde in Taurus trine Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. Pluto is the other planet of transformation. So that one's death and rebirth. That one is sitting in your 5th house. So if you have children, that would be that house. It's your passions, it's your hobbies, it's all those things that you enjoy doing for fun. And so these changes that are taking place, these changes could relate to the money that you earn. This could relate to any kind of internal transformation in general. This is where knowing your rising, your sun, and your moon, if you kind of listen to all three, these changes might give you a little bit more depth as to where it's going to impact you more than anything else. But in this aspect here, this is some sort of sudden internal transformation. It will easily flow with other transformation related to those children or to your hobbies, things like that. This is really, there's a lot of transformation taking place right now. We have Uranus retrograde in Taurus, sextile Neptune retrograde in Pisces. Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So Neptune's all about your goals, your dreams, your hope. So is Pisces. Neptune's the ruler of Pisces. So that's sitting in your 6th house of daily routines. And so your daily life. Think about the things that you do on a regular basis. The food that you eat, any kind of diet or exercise program that you follow, the work that, kind of your work life, what does that schedule look like here? That's all within that 6th house. And so you have these goals for yourself. You have these dreams on what that life should look like. Neptune retrograde in Pisces, this is a lot of reconsideration, rethinking those dreams, seeing the truth of, are they even practical? And so what's happening here is you do have these changes that are taking place internally for you, and it's creating an opportunity for maybe you to reevaluate those dreams. How do you make them practical? How do you make them a reality here? So it's creating an opportunity. You would have to seize that opportunity. It's not just going to fall in your lap. We'll also have Uranus retrograde in Taurus square the moon in Leo. So the moon, it's all about your emotions. Leo is sitting in your 11th house. So this is your friends. Think of holistically your friends, your group of friends. And so these sudden internal changes, that transformation that's taking place within you, it's going to create some sort of obstacle or challenge to how you feel about your friends, or maybe doing something with your friends right now, because that moon in Leo energy, because I'm getting the sense of Leo that there would be maybe some sort of action involved with that. Leo is a fire sign. Fire signs don't sit still. And so right now it just seems like now's not the right time. However you're feeling about your friends right now, it's not aligning with this transformation that's taking place. We have Uranus retrograde in Taurus, also square Mercury in Leo. So any kind of conversations you might be having with your friends, how you feel about your friends, if you're talking about your friends, about how you feel about them. These are the obstacles and challenges. It's just not aligned with these changes that are taking place for you internally. And then on the same day that we have Uranus station retrograde in Taurus, we have Pluto retrograde re-enter the sign of Capricorn. So that's going to happen again on the 1st at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time. This one's really interesting. So this is the last time that Pluto will be in the sign of Capricorn in our lifetime. Once it goes back into Aquarius on November 19th, it will stay in Aquarius until 2043, and then it will continue to move on. It is not coming back, not in our lifetime again, into the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is all about structure. And so think about these strategies that you put in place, the game plan, that step by step. How do I get from point A to point B? What does that look like? Now, Pluto is the planet of transformation, so it's death and rebirth. What structures need to change? Over the course of this year, in 2024, we've had Pluto in both Aquarius and in Capricorn. When it moved into Aquarius back in January, that kind of showed you what structures existed and where maybe they didn't need to exist, or maybe where you needed to create more flexibility, liberate yourself from whatever those restrictions might have been. And so that was the energy of Pluto moving into Aquarius. And so now you're taking all this knowledge and you're moving back into Capricorn. And so it's kind of giving you, okay, well, I felt that taste of freedom. Now I'm getting kind of one last pass at these structures and what needs to go, what needs to stay, because this is death and rebirth. And so think of it as closing a chapter out here. But for you, when Pluto re-enters Capricorn, it's sitting in your 4th house of home. So think of your home environment. What structures do you have in place? Think about your physical home. It doesn't just have to be the people within your home and how you feel about them. It could actually be moving. There could be something here connected to moving. It's an internal change that's taking place. And so this could be, again, thinking like you always had to live in a certain neighborhood. You always had to have a certain house or something like that. Now, all of a sudden that would be shifting and you're okay with moving somewhere else or doing something else, going somewhere else. When Pluto re-enters Capricorn, it will trine Venus in Libra. Venus in Libra is all about you, your person, feeling balanced, feeling good about yourself, holding on to what you value. So whatever changes are taking place within your home environment, whatever those structures are that you're reconsidering, fully aligns with you feeling balanced and good and focused on what you value here. This Pluto retrograde in Capricorn will also trine Uranus retrograde in Taurus. Now, we saw it earlier in the day, but now Pluto has moved signs, so it's got a kind of a different personality connected to it. And so when you're thinking about your home environment and those structures and what you need to get rid of, it's easily going to flow with whatever other changes are taking place already, because that Uranus and Taurus is sitting in that house of transformation. We're talking about homes and we're talking about 8th house energy. So this could actually be related to the money that you earn as well. So there might be something where, if I go back to my example, like you felt like you always had to live in a certain neighborhood, and now something here might need to change and you're open to living somewhere else. And at the same time, the way that you make money or something connected to the money that you make is also changing. And it's giving you that flexibility to move into a different neighborhood, environment, whatever this is. So there's a lot of positive connected to this. I would say out of all of the signs, you're definitely one of the more positive that's going to navigate all of this transformation. Pluto retrograde in Capricorn will also sextile Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And so those changes that are taking place within your home environment, they're going to create some sort of opportunity for you to really have the daily life that you're looking for. Neptune retrograde in Pisces, sitting in that 6th house of daily life, daily routines, it's going to create some sort of opportunity. Whatever goals that you've set for yourself, it's kind of giving you a chance to say, are they still valid? Can I modify them? Can I make them reality now? So that's kind of part of it. It's an opportunity you would have to take advantage of. It's not just going to fall into your lap. And then we have Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, square Chiron retrograde in Aries. And so any kind of structures that are taking place within your home environment, these internal ways of looking at it, that death and rebirth energy as it relates to your home, it's going to create some sort of obstacle or challenge here in your significant relationship. So if you're married, it would be your spouse or that significant other. But really specifically what it's doing here is there's a wound connected to that relationship. This wound is not new. It came to the surface months ago. And all of this transformation that's taking place right now, it's creating some sort of obstacle or challenge for you to do additional work to heal that wound. But it's, again, you've got so much changing right now that the focus is not on closing this wound or addressing this wound. It's on all of these other changes that are taking place. And then on the 2nd, we have the new moon in the sign of Virgo. So that's going to happen at 9:55 p.m. Eastern time. And so when this happens, you've got the sun and the moon. They're at the same degree point in the sky, overlapping energies, expressing how you feel. Virgo energy, how do you feel from a healing standpoint, what it is that you're trying to accomplish. This is sitting in your 12th house, so it's your subconscious, that inner you. So this could be something expressing the depths of your feelings or of just you in general, being able to express that kind of innermost thoughts that you have. During this new moon, we will have the sun and moon square Jupiter and Gemini. So Jupiter and Gemini for you is sitting in your 9th house, which is very similar to Jupiter energy. Jupiter is the most benefic planet. So even though this is a more difficult aspect here, it's not the worst possible one. It's going to require some effort on your part. So if you have any kind of goals connected to going back to school or any kind of growth or expansion, it's going to be a little bit more difficult right now, but this is something that you can work through. Again, Jupiter, very positive. And so there's something about the way that you're expressing yourself right now. It's going to create some sort of challenge for your personal growth, but again, you can work with the energy. We also have the sun and moon opposite Saturn retrograde in Pisces. So any kind of internal work that you've been doing to get that daily life, make it more of a reality, really have your dream life here. It's going to be opposite how you're expressing yourself right now. So it's a push-pull energy. You can find the happy medium. You just have to work through it. And then on the 4th, we have Mars enter the sign of Cancer. So that's going to happen at 3:46 in the afternoon Eastern time. And so Mars is the planet of action. Cancer is a very emotional, it's a water sign. And so this is really about the depths of your feelings. But with Mars, there's a lot of feeling connected to your action. You're going to be acting out your feelings in some sort of way. Cancer rules your 10th house of career and public reputation. So whatever action that you're taking in your career, it's going to be very emotion based, and it's going to create some sort of opportunity for conversations with your friends. This is a positive one. If you're looking to really kind of step out of your comfort zone here and have really bold conversations with your friends, whatever action you're taking in your career really opens up that channel. It's one that you would have to really seize. It's not an opportunity that's just going to fall into your lap. You would have to take advantage of it. Mars in Cancer will also square the moon in Libra as well as Venus in Libra. And so obviously this is your first house. This is you physically. And whatever you're doing in your career, whatever emotional action that you're taking in your career, it's going to create some sort of obstacle or challenge for you to feel balanced about yourself. But again, it feels a lot like, I would say yours still is probably the most positive so far that I've done as far as how to navigate this energy, because the Mars and Cancer energy, think of it as like chaotic emotional expression. This could be very volatile. It doesn't have to be. It just depends on how you feel when you take some sort of action here. What is the depths of those feelings? Because Cancer, it's very deep emotional feelings. And so it might throw you out of balance here for a minute where you just don't feel stable and grounded in who you are. That's not an energy that's going to stick around. You can find a way to make yourself feel more balanced again, but you're going to have to work on it. This Mars in Cancer will also square Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And so it's going to create some obstacles or challenges as it relates to that daily life that you want to live. What does that goal look like for you? How do you want to live your life? And so whatever action that you're taking that's really emotion driven right now, it's just creating an obstacle or challenge there as well. And then on the 9th, we have Mercury enter the sign of Virgo. So that's going to happen at 2:50 in the morning Eastern time. And so Mercury rules Virgo. So when this happens, this is a more conversation around yourself, but in a different way. Because Virgo is your 12th house, so it's your inner you. And this would be maybe a healing kind of conversation that you're having. And I say healing specifically because when Mercury enters Virgo, it will trine Chiron in Aries. So think about that relationship wound. Any kind of any discussions that you're having right now, the way that you're expressing yourself, there is a healing component to it. So it's actually going to help you heal that wound connected to a relationship. And so this might be expressing the depths of who you are with your significant other to heal some sort of wound here. We'll also have Mercury in Virgo sextile Mars in Cancer. And so healing conversations, the way that you're expressing yourself right now, the depths of who you are, it's creating some sort of opportunity for you to take some sort of action in your career, but the emotion might be different now. It might not be chaotic or volatile. This feels very healing and very grounded because of that Virgo energy. And so this one's positive. I'm trying to think of another analogy, but that one, it's really positive there. We also have Mercury in Virgo square Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And so these healing conversations, the way that you're expressing those kind of innermost thoughts that you're having, it's going to create some sort of obstacle or challenge to changes that are taking place, this internal transformation that you're going through, one that is meant to help propel you forward. This is really in your best interest. It's removing all of those obstacles that aren't practical, that aren't grounded in reality, that can never be grounded in reality. We also have Mercury in Virgo square the moon in Scorpio. And so these healing conversations, the way that you're expressing yourself, it's going to create some sort of obstacle or challenge here to how you feel about your personal finances. But again, it's a square. You can find a way to work through that energy. Then we come into, I told you September was going to be a big one. So we have an eclipse this month and we are moving into Virgo, Pisces. Well, it's Pisces, Virgo eclipse season. We're coming out of yours. We're coming out of the Aries, Libra eclipse season. We're moving into that Pisces, Virgo. And so this full moon in the sign of Pisces is going to be our first glimpse of what that eclipse season is going to look like. And so it really does kick in 2025. We still have to close out the existing eclipses before we fully move in. But this one's going to happen on the 17th at 10:34 p.m. Eastern time. And it is a partial lunar eclipse because it's a full moon. And so when this happens, you just like with any full moon, you've got the sun and the moon at different degree points of the sky. They're exactly opposite from each other. So the sun in Virgo is sitting in your 12th house, your self-conscious, your subconscious. And then we've got the moon in Pisces sitting in your daily routines, your daily life. And so one is the inner you, one is more the outer you. And this is really that push-pull energy. How do you feel about your daily life? What do you like about your daily life? Versus how do you want to express yourself? How do you want to express the depths of who you are? They're at a push-pull. And just like with every full moon, the sun and moon will have different conversations with the planets. This partial eclipse is actually a good one. There's a lot of positive aspects here and a lot of opportunity. And so just jumping into that one, we have the sun in Virgo trine Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And so the way that you're expressing yourself, the depths of who you are, it's going to easily flow with those changes that are taking place because the sun in Virgo trine Uranus retrograde in Taurus, those sudden changes that are taking place in your best interest fully align with the way that you want to express yourself. The moon in Pisces creates an opportunity for more of that change, more of that transformation. So how you feel about your daily life also creates an opportunity. Now, this is one that you would have to take action on, but it's there. Then we have the sun in Virgo trine Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. And so again, the way that you're expressing yourself, the depths of who you are, easily blends with whatever structures are changing within your home environment here. Easy blend of energy, no action required on your part. And where the moon now in Pisces is going to create some sort of opportunity for even more change in your home environment. So again, positive, lots of positive. Again, this one's an opportunity you would have to take some sort of action on. Whereas the sun, the way you're expressing yourself, easy flows. This one, you need to do something about it. The difficult one here is going to be the sun and moon are in a T-square with Jupiter in Gemini. Jupiter in Gemini is sitting in your house of growth and expansion. It's that 9th house energy. So higher education, long distance travel, anything that you would want to do to kind of better yourself and kind of expand your mind or your experience in some sort of way. That's the 9th house energy. And so when I look at the sun in Virgo and the moon both in a square, so they're both creating challenges to this energy, the sun is doing it and saying, if the way that you're expressing yourself yourself and the depths of who you are is just preventing you from being able to really explore this growth that you're looking for. How you feel about your daily routine, same energy. It's making it more difficult for you to really grow and expand. But because it is Jupiter energy, it's not going to be as difficult as some other square transits. And so this one, you do have to work with it, but it's going to be a little bit easier here. And I say that only because Jupiter is at its weakest point right now, and so it might not be the most beneficial at this exact moment, but it's also an energy of you're going through so much transformation. It's almost like before you really grow and expand, let the dust settle a little bit, let things kind of stabilize before you really aggressively go after any kind of growth. And then we have the Sun in Virgo opposite Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And so the way that you're expressing yourself, like that innermost you, it's opposite that dream life that you want to live. And so again, it's an opposite energy. It's a push-pull. You just have to find a way to work through that balance if this is something that you even want to do right now, because this transit's not going to last either. We do have the Moon in Pisces conjunct Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So how you feel about that dream life that you want for yourself, those goals that you have for yourself. This is an easy blend of energy, no action required on your part. These planets are in very close proximity to each other. And then on the 22nd, we have the Sun enter your sign. So happy birthday, Libra. That's going to happen at 8:44 in the morning Eastern time. And so when the Sun enters Libra, this is all about the way that you express yourself, feeling very balanced, very secure, very stable, very grounded in that energy. It's going to trine the Moon in Gemini. So how you feel about your growth and expansion, all of this is going to come into some sort of full alignment because an easy blend of energy here. We'll have the Sun in Libra trine Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And so the way that you're expressing yourself right now easily blends with whatever changes are taking place, whatever that internal transformation is, very easy blend of energy. We'll also have the Sun in Libra trine Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. And so again, the way that you're expressing yourself, that balanced expression, easily flows with whatever changes are taking place in your home environment or what you want to happen within your home environment here. We'll also have the Sun in Libra square Jupiter in Gemini. And so this balanced self-expression is creating some sort of obstacle or challenge for your growth. But again, it's more of like, let's stabilize before we grow. So that's kind of where you are right now. And again, September, planet, I would say the month of transformation, that's exactly what this is about. And so we'll also have the Sun in Libra conjunct Mercury in Virgo. And so balancing your expression, how you feel about things, really coming into alignment, your outer self, your inner self, easy blend of energy, conjunction. In fact, they're very close to each other in proximity. And so they're essentially overlapping in energy this way. And so a lot of healing is taking place right now. So if there has been a lot of change and it's been very tumultuous, this would be that healing energy that's coming into play, balancing out your inner and your outer self. We also have the Sun in Libra opposite Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And so again, the way that you're expressing yourself, that balance expression that you're doing right now, it is going to be opposite to your goals, your dreams as it relates to your daily life. But again, you can find a way to work through this energy. They are opposites. It is contrary, but you can navigate it. And then on the same day, we have Venus enter the sign of Scorpio. So again, on the 22nd at 10:36 p.m. Eastern time, when Venus enters the sign of Scorpio, so Venus is harmony, balance. I mean, it rules your sign. So it's all about relationships, bringing things together. Scorpio is very passionate, very loyal. And so Scorpio for you is in your second house of personal finances. And there's something where you feel really good about your personal finances, very passionate about maybe the money that you're saving, because this would be money that you already have, maybe the investments that you're making. You're very loyal to maybe, I don't know, maybe the bank where this money is kept, or the way that you kind of handle money in general. You feel really good and really solid with what you've put in place. That Venus in Scorpio will trine Jupiter in Gemini. And so how you feel about what you value, your investments, your personal finances here, easily blends with whatever you want to do to grow and expand yourself. Venus in Scorpio will square Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. And so how you feel about your personal finances and feeling very loyal, very passionate to whatever you've done here, whatever you've done to create for yourself, it's going to create some sort of obstacle or challenge to whatever changes are taking place to your home environment. So when you think about, are you interested in moving to a different location? Something along those lines, this would be, okay, well then I do need to make some sort of change to my finances. And so do I really want to move? Because I really like where my financial security is. I really like holding on to what I value. And so this is where you can kind of see that conflict coming up. It's an obstacle, you can overcome it. You just have to put the effort in. And then at the end of the month, we have Mercury enter the sign of Libra. So again, sitting in your first house, very similar to the sun energy because Mercury is communication. And so Mercury and sun are in close proximity to each other when Mercury enters your sign. That's going to happen, I don't know if I gave the date and the time, on the 26th at 4:09 in the morning Eastern time. And so because Mercury and the sun are going to be so close to each other, this is a lot of balanced self-expression. Again, first house energy, who you are, your physical self. We'll have Mercury in Libra trine Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And so the way that you're expressing yourself, feeling very balanced, very secure in that energy, easily flows with whatever is transforming in your life, whatever this internal change is that's taking place, easy flow of energy. Mercury in Libra will trine Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. And so that balanced self-expression easily flows with whatever changes are taking place within your home environment, how you see your home, what do you want for your home environment, what do you need to get rid of, what do you want to keep. And so you can kind of see where balancing everything out, now it's starting to kind of enter into other areas of your life. Mercury in Libra will square Jupiter in Gemini. And so again, that balanced self-expression, we saw this with the sun, where it just created some sort of obstacle or challenge for you to do something in order to grow. But again, it's Jupiter energy, it's a square energy, you can work through this. It might be a little bit easier than a lot of the other squares just because it is Jupiter. Even though Jupiter is at its weakest point, this is still a positive planet. And then we have Mercury in Libra opposite Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And so that balanced self-expression is really opposite that ideal daily life that you want to live for yourself. But again, you can find that happy medium. It just feels like, again, I know I've said it multiple times, but September, there's a lot of things that are changing. And it really is coming down to letting things settle down, stable out before you kind of move forward in a different direction, which includes reevaluating your daily life. You don't necessarily need to reevaluate it. You kind of need to see where it's going to land before you can say whether or not this is right for you. So anyway, Libra, this is your reading. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.